Glass is just a few days away, people. Just a few days. So until then, let's get on to Split. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Josh, and I'm here to give you my 2-cent review on the 2016 original thriller by M. Night Shyamalan, Split. Now, it's written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It stars James McAvoy, Betty Buckley, and Anya Taylor-Joy. So I basically just took the synopsis off the back of the film's cover art and decided to give it to you guys just so you guys have a heads up of what the film's about. So the film is about Kevin Wendell Crumb, who's played by James McAvoy. He's been revealed to have 23 distinct personalities. To his psychiatrist, played by Betty Buckley, there is one still submerged who is set to materialize and dominate all the others. Compelled to abduct 3 teenage girls, Kevin reaches a war for survival among all of those contained within him, as well as everyone around him, as the walls between his compartments shatter apart. I didn't make that up when I wrote that. That is exactly what's on the back of the cover art for the movie. So, yeah. So, so let's get into my likes about Split. First and foremost, I have to point out the fact that James McAvoy is a master of what he can do in this movie. This is by far a performance that should have won him awards across the board. He is so good. The fact that even though we only get 9 personalities throughout the duration of this movie out of his 23, we only see 9 of them. Now, regardless of the fact that we only see 9 out of the 23, it's still enough to just be wowed by the fact that he can give us 9 and he can be in the exact same scene, no cuts, and he can switch from one to the next. It was amazing. I think he should have won awards for this part, which I don't remember ever hearing about. Hopefully he did. This should have been recognized by the Academy. This should have been recognized by the Oscars. He should have gotten something for this movie. This is such a good performance. And I'm also going to applaud the fact that this is M. Night Shyamalan's return to form. I don't think he pulled it off with The Visit, even though, to me, I enjoyed the film for what it was. But I don't think that film was a true return to form. This, however, is. He is such a master of creating suspense and world building, especially in this type of a movie. Now, the time I watched this to review this film, this was probably about the 5th or 6th time I've seen this movie, but the more I watch it, the more small, little, subtle things I pick up on, and I'm just kind of like, oh, that's it, there we go. It's like, I will tell you why in just a minute, and I will be going into spoiler territory, so if you guys have not seen Split, shut the video off, go grab yourself a copy of Split, pop it in, and then come back and rewatch this video. Until then, I'm going to go into spoilers, so be prepared. It's just the fact that there are subtle nods to another film that you don't see at first. You don't pick up on these things at first until obviously you get to the very end of the movie. But the more you rewatch it, you're kind of like, oh, wow, I should have seen this. I should have known. It's these small little things that get the audience's attention, and you're just kind of like, wow, that's... you just get so jacked. And that's what I loved about this movie, was the fact that once you've seen the end of the movie, and I'm just about to get to that, your whole mind has been completely blown. It's one of the best twists Shyamalan has ever done in any film since The Sixth Sense. The movie is beautifully shot. It's beautifully directed. It's got some choppy editing to it, but other than that, I don't have a whole lot of complaints. But before I get into the complaints, let's just dive into the spoilers, shall we? This is a sequel. A quasi-sequel to Unbreakable. The fact that the very end sequence, before we hit the actual title card for Split, we get the music. We get James Newton Howard's score from Unbreakable. If that doesn't tell you enough that this is a sequel, you didn't have to show Bruce Willis's character as David Dunn. You didn't have to show that. The music alone was enough to make most fans go, oh my god, that is the music from Unbreakable. Are you telling me this is a sequel? Is this a villain origin story? I was completely pulled back. Now, I had known the spoiler was there before I even saw the film in the beginning, but it didn't take away from the fact that my mind and everything about me was just singing with joy for this moment at the end of the movie. I was just completely like, give me Glass, take my money right now. I am ready to go. I am ready to see this trilogy come to an end and see how it all comes together. So these are all the things I love about this movie. I can't. This is definitely M. Night Shyamalan's best film since, in my opinion, The Village. Now, I know a lot of people will say probably since Signs, but for me, I enjoyed The Village. After The Village, he went off the rails with Lady in the Water, The Happening, Last Airbender, After Earth. You know, it wasn't until The Visit that he started to come back to his roots. But if I have any dislikes about this movie, the only two things that I can find in this movie that I really just didn't care about was Anya Taylor-Joy's Casey Cook. Her character has a past that is shown in flashbacks throughout different portions of the movie. I get why they're there. I understand why they are there. It's to basically give you more characterization as to who she is. But it all felt misplaced. It felt like, you know, we just kind of had them thrown in at just random different points of the movie where it just didn't seem like it made a whole lot of sense as to why we couldn't just get it all in one big moment. Like towards the end of the movie where you can get more of her backstory, then get some more of Kevin Wendell Crumb's. You know, it would have worked better if they had placed her past at the end of the movie as opposed to just little bits and pieces throughout. The other thing I don't understand, and that I don't think was thought through too thoroughly, was Kevin's lair beneath a zoo that absolutely nobody knew about. He had been down there for who knows how long, because the movie made it seem like he had been down there his entire life, but yet it's technically throughout the maintenance basement of the zoo. How did nobody see that? That part kind of took me out of the movie, but nonetheless, it didn't take me fully out of the movie. It was just kind of like well, that was a little dumb. So when I think maybe the idea was to make it seem a little bit more shocking, it just kind of came off as, I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. But that's okay. The rest of the movie made up for it, so I'm not complaining about that. That's a very small complaint in the only two complaints I have with this movie. So with that being said, overall, my overall grading for this movie is added to your collection. Now, I gave Unbreakable a masterpiece. I wanted to give this a masterpiece, but the only reason it hit an add to the collection was because of my two complaints. Otherwise, this movie, if it had removed those pieces, or if it had done things differently, I would have made this a masterpiece. This movie is phenomenal. I recommend this movie highly. So I definitely say add this movie to your collection. So with that being said, I will be hopefully having Glass's review up this weekend. I am very jacked to see this movie. I cannot wait to tell you all about it. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below and let me know what you thought of Glass. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. Take care.